High in the frozen, unforgiving peaks of the Himalayas, a legend has persisted for centuries. A giant, hairy, ape-like creature lurking in the blizzard, leaving behind footprints too large to be human. The Yeti, the Abominable Snowman. For generations, explorers, mountaineers, and even governments have been obsessed with finding it. But what if the truth was hiding in plain sight all along? What if science has finally cracked one of the world's greatest mysteries? Welcome to the Deep Dive. The story we know begins in 1921. A British expedition to Mount Everest, led by Charles Howard Berry, reported strange, large footprints in the snow. His local Sherpa guides called the creature Metokangmi, which roughly means man-bear snowman. But when journalist Henry Newman interviewed the team, he famously mistranslated Meto as filthy and coined the sensational name we all know, the Abominable Snowman. This single mistranslation would ignite a global obsession that has lasted a century. But the roots of this legend go much, much deeper than a simple language error. In Sherpa and Tibetan Buddhist folklore, the Yeti wasn't always a monster. It could be a spiritual glacier being, a protector of sacred mountains, or even a disciple to holy men. One 17th century legend tells of a meditator, Sangwa Dorje, who was cared for by a friendly Yeti that brought him food and water. This creature was deeply woven into the spiritual fabric of the Himalayas, a complex figure that represented the wild, untamable power of nature. It was a part of their world, respected and sometimes feared, but not simply a monster to be hunted. Then, in 1951, everything changed. The legend went global when mountaineer Eric Shipton, while scouting a route up Everest, photographed a single, massive, haunting footprint on the Menlung Glacier. The photo was stark, clear, and undeniable. It showed a print that was both human-like and bestial, with a distinct, opposable-looking big toe. That photo became the Rosetta Stone of Yeti lore. It was published in newspapers around the world, and suddenly the West was completely captivated. This sparked an era of Yeti mania. Expeditions were funded by wealthy Texas oilmen, eager to bag the ultimate trophy. The U.S. State Department even issued official rules for its personnel in Nepal, outlining how to behave if you encountered one, specifying that they could be shot in self-defense, but ideally should be captured alive. The hunt was officially on. Famous names joined the chase. Sir Edmund Hillary, after conquering Everest, went looking for the Yeti. His expedition, however, concluded that the famous footprints were likely made by smaller animals, distorted and enlarged by the melting sun. But that didn't stop the flow of supposed evidence. Expeditions returned with irrefutable relics, a shriveled, mummified hand from the Pangboche Monastery and a hairy scalp from the Kumjong Monastery. For a time, these artifacts seemed like the smoking gun. The Pangboche hand was even smuggled to London for analysis. But as scientific methods improved, these relics began to tell a different story. The scalp was eventually tested and found to be from a siro, a goat-like animal native to the region. Decades later, modern DNA analysis confirmed the Pangboche hand was, in fact, human. One by one, the physical proofs began to fall apart under scrutiny. Still, other physical evidence, mysterious hair, bone fragments, skin, and even fecal samples began piling up in museums and private collections around the world. For believers, this was the proof. For science, it was a question just waiting for the right technology to answer. And that technology was just around the corner. Enter the world of modern genetics. In the 2010s, scientists led by researchers like Charlotte Lindquist and Brian Sykes launched serious, comprehensive DNA studies on these supposed Yeti samples. This wasn't just a casual look. They performed mitochondrial DNA sequencing on 9 different samples, including hairs, bones, teeth, and even feces claimed to be from the legendary creature. These samples came from museums and private collections, representing the best physical evidence ever collected. The results, published in prestigious scientific journals like the Proceedings of the Royal Society B, were conclusive and shockingly consistent. Every single sample was a match to a known Himalayan animal. There was no mystery primate, no unknown ape. The Yeti was. In fact, the Himalayan brown bear, the Tibetan brown bear, the Asiatic black bear, and in one case a sample from a supposed preserved Yeti turned out to be from a dog. The science is clear. The biological basis of the Yeti legend is not a giant, undiscovered ape, but the region's rare and majestic bears. This actually makes perfect sense. Imagine you're at high altitude in a blizzard with visibility dropping to near zero. You see a dark shape stand up on its hind legs. A bear doing what bears do. But from a distance in poor light, it could easily be misidentified as a bipedal, ape-like creature. Their footprints, pressed into the snow and then distorted by melting and refreezing, could easily appear monstrously large and oddly shaped, just like the famous Shipton photo. The mystery of the physical evidence had been solved. So, is the case closed? Is the Yeti just a big bear? For zoology, yes. There is simply no credible biological evidence for a large, undiscovered primate living in the Himalayas. The animal itself does not exist. But to say the Yeti isn't real misses a crucial point. The legend is real. The myth was born from that lost in translation moment. A collision between Western explorers looking for a monster and a rich, complex Himalayan worldview where the spiritual and physical realms are deeply intertwined. The Yeti is a cultural truth. It is a part of folklore, religion, and spirituality that is very real to the people of the region. It's a symbol of the wildness of the mountains, a spirit to be respected. Dismissing it as just a bear is to dismiss the culture from which the story originated. And ironically, the scientific solution gives us something far more important than a monster. It gives us a vital conservation message. The Himalayan brown bear, one of the real Yetis, is critically endangered. It's an elusive, little-studied subspecies. Its population is fragmented and threatened by habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict. By solving the mystery of the Yeti, science has inadvertently shone a bright spotlight on a real creature that desperately needs our protection before it, too, becomes a ghost story. The Yeti walks, but not as a solitary snow monster. It walks as a bear in the shadows of the highest peaks on Earth. It lives on as a powerful spirit in the stories of the Sherpa people. And it endures as a powerful symbol of our human desire to believe that the wild, unexplored places of our world still hold profound secrets. The mystery was never really about finding a hidden animal. It's about how legends are born at the intersection of culture, perception, and the raw power of the natural world. The Abominable Snowman may be a myth, but the truth behind it is, in many ways, even more fascinating. What do you think? Does the science solve the mystery for you? Or do you think there's still something out there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries.